Hi everyone, this is Atulya and with me it's Alicia and Abhinaya. Today we are going to present the importance of glycemic index and diabetic management. We are going to delve into the fascinating world of blood sugar control and how understanding the glycemic index can be a game changer for those who are living with diabetics. Alright, let's talk about glycemic index and its significance in nutrition. Picture this, you are sitting down to a meal and you are eyeing that plate of pasta. You ever wondered how it's going to affect your blood sugar level? That's where the glycemic index come into the play. So, what exactly is glycemic index? It's like a speedometer for your food telling you how fast it's going to raise your food sugar level after you eat it. Imagine a scale from 0 to 100 with different food ranked based on how quickly they impact your blood sugar level. Now, why does this matter in nutrition? Well, think about it this way. Understanding the glycemic index is crucial for managing your blood sugar level. Whether you have diabetics or you just want to keep your energy level stable throughout the day. Knowing how different food affect your blood sugar is key. Alright, let's talk about the nitty gritty high GI food like white bread or sugary snack can send your blood sugar level into high. But opt for low GI food like whole grains or vegetables and you will experience a more gradual and controlled rise in blood sugar. Now here where it gets interesting. The glycemic index doesn't just stop at blood sugar level. It also has a direct influence on your body's insulin response. Insulin is like the gatekeeper of your blood sugar, right? So it helps regulate it and keeping everything in balance. So, what does all of this mean for you? By paying attention to the glycemic index of food, you can make smarter choice about your what you eat, whether it's swapping out that sugary cereals for oats meals or choosing whole wheat bread or over white. Small changes can make a big difference in managing your blood sugar level and overall health. Well, knowing about GI can help us making smarter food choices, especially if we are managing conditions like diabetics or trying to maintain steady energy level throughout the day. We need to categorize food based on their glycemic index. So, imagine a traffic light. We have three categories like green, yellow, and red. Green means the food with a glycemic index of 55 or less. They are best choices because they have a minimal impact on your blood sugar level. Now, on to yellow, we call this caution medium glycemic index. These food have a glycemic index ranging from 56 to 69. They are not as bad as red, but you should choose them less often. Finally, we have red, which means stop and think high glycemic index. These are the food with a glycemic index of 70 or more. They can cause a rapid spike in your blood sugar level, so it's best to choose them least of often. So let's put into some perspective with some examples. In the green category, we have foods like apples, beans, and lettuce. These are your go-to choices for steady energy. Moving on the yellow, think about banana, sweet potato, and oatmeal. They are okay in moderation, but not something you want to overdo. And in the red category, we find white bread, sugary cereals, and soft drinks. These are the ones we really need to watch out for. By being mindful of the glycemic index of the food we eat, we can make healthier choices that support our overall well being. Now we can talk about the factors affecting glycemic index. First one is acidity. Pickles and other highly acidic food generally have lower glycemic index rating than non-acidic food. For example, compared to white bread, which contain lactic acid, typically has a lower GI cooking time. The food GI tends to increase with the amount of time it is cooked. Carbohydrate and starch are broken down during cooking, facilitating faster absorption and digestion. Food with a high fiber content typically have low GI rating because fibers slow down the digestive process. Blood sugar level rise more gradually. Because of this fibrous coating, beans and seeds typically have low GI rating than foods that don't have them. Processing. Food with a lot of processing typically have higher GI ratings. Fruits juices, for instance, usually have a higher GI than whole fruits because the fiber is removed during processing, facilitating the sugars factor absorption. And the ripeness. A fruit or vegetables GI can be impacted by how ripe it is. The fruits or vegetables glycemic index tend to increase with ripeness. Let's talk about importance of glycemic index in diabetic management. Blood sugar regulation. By directing dietary choices toward food with lower glucose release, the glycemic index assists diabetic in better controlling their blood sugar levels, preventing spikes and crashes. Patients with diabetics can prevent abrupt spikes and crashes in blood sugar by choosing low GI food, which will help them have more stable and consistent energy level throughout the day. Low GI food help improve insulin sensitivity, which lessens the burden on the pancreas and aids in more effective insulin management in diabetic patients. Weight control. Since controlling one's weight is crucial for both general health and the management of diabetics, low GI food typically provide a more substantial and gratifying meal for diabetic patients. Lowering cardiovascular risk. Eating low GI food can help lower the risk of cardiovascular diseases, which are more common in people with diabetics, by stabilizing blood sugar levels. This can lead to better overall health outcomes.
Hi everyone, this is Elsa speaking, and I'm hoping you guys have the better picture about the topic glycemic index since Atulya has explained about the introduction, how to measure, factors affecting and importance of the glycemic index. So now I'm excited to discuss three important articles that shed light on the relationship between diet, glycemic control, and the risk of type 2 diabetes. First of all, I would like to talk about a critical aspect of nutrition that affects our health, the concept of glycemic index, glycemic load, and glycemic response. These terms are often used interchangeably, but they represent distinct measures that can provide valuable insights into how different foods impact our blood sugar levels and overall health. Firstly, let's start with the glycemic index. This index measures how quickly a carbohydrate-containing food raises blood glucose levels compared to a reference food, usually glucose or white bread. Foods with a high GI cause a rapid increase in blood glucose, while those with a low GI lead to a slower, more gradual rise. This classification helps us understand the quality of carbohydrates in our diet. Now let's move on to glycemic load, which considers both the GI of a food and the amount of carbohydrate it contains per serving. GL provides a more comprehensive picture of how food affects blood glucose levels than GI alone. Foods with a high GL can cause larger spikes in blood glucose, which may have implications for metabolic health. Lastly, glycemic response refers to the individual variability in blood glucose levels after consuming a carbohydrate-containing food. GR is influenced by factors such as genetics, metabolism, and overall dietary patterns. Understanding GR is crucial as it can help personalize dietary recommendations and improve blood sugar management. And this article aimed to establish a consensus on the definitions and significance of GI, GL, and GR in health and disease prevention. Studies have shown that diets emphasizing low GI and GL foods may have benefits for metabolic health and reduce the risk of chronic diseases such as type 2 diabetes and cardiovascular disease. However, further research is needed to fully understand the role of these concepts in dietary recommendations and health outcomes. In conclusion, GI, GL, and GR are valuable tools for assessing the impact of carbohydrates on health. Standardized methods for measuring GI and GL, as well as the consideration of individual factors in interpreting glycemic response, are essential. Continued research will deepen our understanding of these concepts and their health implications, ultimately leading to better dietary recommendations and improved health outcomes. Let's talk about something that affects millions of people worldwide: type 2 diabetes. It's a condition that requires careful management of blood sugar levels. One crucial tool in managing this is understanding the glycemic index of foods. The GI measures how quickly foods containing carbohydrates raise blood sugar levels. Foods with a high GI can cause spikes in blood sugar, which can lead to complications for those with type 2 diabetes. On the other hand, foods with a lower GI can help stabilize blood sugar levels, reducing the risk of complications. Studies have shown that focusing on a low GI diet, which includes foods like whole grains, legumes, and vegetables, can significantly improve blood sugar control in people with type 2 diabetes. This means less reliance on medications and better overall health outcomes. Research also tells us that diets high in GI and glycemic load can increase the risk of type 2 diabetes in healthy individuals. By understanding these concepts and making smart food choices, we can reduce the risk of developing type 2 diabetes and improve our overall health. So let's take charge of our health by choosing foods that are low in GI and GL. Let's make informed decisions that support our health and well-being. Together, we can make a difference in the fight against type 2 diabetes. The third article I would like to discuss is the pharmacologic management of type 2 diabetes in adults, focusing on the latest updates from a comprehensive article. This article provides healthcare professionals with evidence-based guidance on selecting and using pharmacologic agents for glycemic control in adults with type 2 diabetes. This research underscores the complexity of managing type 2 diabetes, considering factors such as age, comorbidities, cardiovascular risk, hypoglycemia risk, and patient preferences. One key finding is that metformin remains the first-line therapy for type 2 diabetes due to its effectiveness, tolerability, and low risk of hypoglycemia. However, if glycemic targets are not met with metformin alone, the article suggests adding a second agent such as sulfonylurea, DPP-4 inhibitor, GLP-1RA, or SGLT2 inhibitor based on individual patient characteristics and preferences. Importantly, the article highlights the critical role of lifestyle interventions, including diet, exercise, and weight management, in conjunction with pharmacologic therapy. Regular monitoring of glycemic control and adjustment of treatment regimens are essential to achieving and maintaining glycemic targets while minimizing the risk of hypoglycemia and other adverse effects. In conclusion, the article provides a comprehensive overview of the pharmacologic management of type 2 diabetes in adults, emphasizing the importance of individualized treatment approaches and the need for ongoing monitoring and adjustment of therapy to optimize outcomes.
Hello everyone. In the previous slides, my team members Alisa and Atulya would have mentioned the importance of glycemic index and the management of diabetes. Now I want to continue with few practical tips and cooking tips like how we can control the glycemic index. Now the practical tip for incorporating low GI foods are like we can select whole grains like wheat, white bread and white rice. These and all should be avoided in favor of whole grains like quinoa, brown rice, oats we can take. These whole grains are like higher in fiber and minerals, which have lower glycemic index. And we also could include lean proteins, like sources of protein such as poultry, fish, tofu, beans, and lentils in your meals too. Proteins help to slow down digestion and can help to stabilize blood sugar also. Unlike we can take good healthy fats, like include healthy fat containing foods and snacks in our daily diet, such as avocado, nuts, seeds, and olive oil. And also adding lot of vegetables, like we have to make sure our meals having a lot of veggies such as peppers, broccoli, carrots, and leafy greens. These vegetables are high in fiber, vitamins, and minerals, and also low in calories and carbs. And regarding the balancing meals with low and moderate GI foods, we can emphasize on the portion quantities, how much we eat. Like when incorporating foods with intermediate GI, like fruits, dairy, and some whole grains, we have to be concentrated on the portion quantities. Even when eating meals with a moderate GI, blood sugar levels can still be managed by controlling portion size. And also like we can, while pairing the food what and all we are eating, we have to adjust the glycemic index of a meal by combining foods with high and low GI values. For example, to lessen the effect of a high GI fruit on blood sugar, we have to pair it with a protein or health fat source. Here I have given an example of watermelon. And about whatever we are taking, we have to consider about the glycemic load. Like when analyzing foods, it's important to consider both their GA and GL. The GL takes into account both the amount and quality of carbs in a meal, giving more realistic view of how the food may affect blood sugar levels. And also another experiment is we have to define the meal combinations, like we can combine new meals to find what works best for our own terms in regarding the blood sugar and overall health. We can also keep a food diary to track how different foods and combinations affect our body energy levels and mood throughout the day. And I have few GI level of foods, like fruits. If you take the food category, like fruits, vegetables, grains, legumes, I have given separate food items with a separate of GI value and category, which is low, moderate, or high. If you take low GI foods, it will be like value of 55 or less. Example include lentils, chickpeas, most fruits like apple, banana, berries. And moderate GI values are right, it will be 56 to 69. Example include carrots. Example, other than that, we can say wheat bread and pasta, sweet potato, and some fruits. If we take high GI foods, it will be like white rice, sugary cereals will have it, like it might contain more than 70 or more than that, and potatoes and candy and all the pastries. We have to maintain these all things. And cooking tips, like we can select the whole grains as I mentioned before. We can avoid a few in favor compared to their refined equivalents. Whole grains such as brown rice, quinoa, barley, and whole wheat pasta have a lower GI. Additionally, they have higher quantities of minerals and fiber, which aid to stabilize blood sugar levels and slow digestion. Cooked grains tend to, which means like rice and pasta are cooked but still have a tiny bite to them. They should be cooked at al dente compared to cooking grains until they are soft and mushy. Cooking them to this texture can help lower their GI. And pairing carbs with protein and fiber, like when organizing meals, we can pair carbohydrates with foods high in protein and fiber, because ingesting carbohydrates is slowed down by protein and fiber, which causes blood sugar levels to rise more gradually. Serving whole grain toast with scrambled eggs, for instance, or we can add salsa and black beans on top of a baked potato. And we should, as I mentioned before, like in the like incorporating low GI foods, we should always include healthy fats. Like to reduce the GI, we can add little healthy fats to our meals. Like when combined with carbohydrates, the foods like avocado, almond seeds, nuts, olive oil can help slow down digestion and enhance blood sugar regulation. For instance, top whole grain pasta with the olive oil, or a top a salad with sliced avocado. This will be tasty, and we can also take it as a healthy fat for food. And selecting low glycemic index cooking techniques, like we can go for cooking techniques that support preserving the nutrients and natural fiber in food. We can make baking, boiling, and steaming or healthier methods than frying, which can raise a food's GI. For instance, bake sweet potatoes rather than or frying them, and steaming veggies instead of frying them. It will give us a healthy one. As compared to the other glycemic index, it will give us low one. So it will be good for health in maintaining the diabetes. And using lemon juice and vinegar, like lowering the GI of meals can be achieved by include acidic items such as lemon juice or vinegar. The body breaks down and absorbs carbohydrates more slowly when these substances are present. We can try avoiding lemon juice to cooked veggies or dressing salads with vinegar. In conclusion, we have uncovered the critical role of the glycemic index in managing diabetes and managing overall health. By focusing on low GI foods and making informed dietary choices, like individuals with diabetes can effectively stabilize their blood sugar levels and reduce the risk of complications. Even incorporating the practical tips which we have given before, like choosing whole grains or prioritizing vegetables and balancing meals, and moderate GI foods can greatly contribute to better sugar levels control and improved well-being. And also, from this, like diabetics can reduce their risk of cardiovascular disease, enhance insulin sensitivity, and avoid blood sugar spikes and crashes by focusing on low GI foods and adopting educated dietary choices. Like with an understanding of GI, like I would say, we can empower ourselves with this knowledge, and we can enhance our overall health, prevent diabetes related complications, and reduce the risk of developing chronic disease together. So let's embrace a healthier lifestyle and strive for a brighter, healthier future. And these are the articles we took for our presentation, and we have already provided it for the proposal and everything, and the pictures where we took images from. And thank you. Have a wonderful day.